What's going on, everyone? So, according to Jake Weinbach, the Pacers, Raptors, and Mavericks could engage in a three-team deal that would send OG Anunoby to Indiana, multiple first-round picks that would include the number 7 overall pick to Toronto, and Buddy Hield to Dallas. So, this is a three-team deal that is potentially being explored, potentially being talked about, and it would involve the Pacers, Raptors, and Mavericks. But when you look at this trade on the surface, I'm sure there's other, interchangeable pieces and stuff like that. But essentially, Dallas is getting Buddy Hield for free. Now, I don't know if Dallas is maybe trading the 10th pick for Buddy Hield, but I don't see Dallas trading the 10th pick for Buddy Hield. So there's probably got to be something else. It's also possible that the Raptors just don't want Buddy Hield and, they got to make salaries match and stuff like that. So that could be that kind of thing. And maybe they're just getting some guys that they could just waive, something along those lines. But if this deal is a real possibility that could be explored, can the Lakers get involved in that? Can the Lakers replace the Dallas Mavericks, right? Could you go and throw in Malik Beasley, the 17th pick? Because there's already the talks and the rumors of the Lakers potentially taking the 17th pick and trading that for the 26th and 29th or 26th and 30th pick, and then basically swapping Hield with Beasley. So if you could kind of leverage that deal into this potential deal and land Buddy Hield rather than him going to Dallas, that would be huge. But also, I would love to try to not only get Buddy Hield, right? So you could send all the picks, right? So you could say, okay, so the Pacers are going to get OG Anunoby, right? That's the big move. Pacers want a guy, they would get OG Anunoby. So there's not the incentive for them to trade those two first to the Lakers and get Buddy Hield, but they want to just kind of unload Buddy Hield to make salaries work, right? So you could do that swap. You could maybe, if Dallas is just getting Buddy Hield for free, can you come in and throw in a second round pick or 2 second round picks and just grab Buddy Hield for Malik Beasley? Maybe even send Malik Beasley to the Dallas Mavericks. That could be a possibility. Look, Buddy Hield is a upgraded version of Malik Beasley. Not by much, but he's more consistent, right? He's a much more consistent version of Buddy Hield. Or of Malik Beasley. So that is valuable. That is important, right? That would be a nice swap. That'd be a nice trade. But I would love if the Lakers could do that, right? If you can just get Buddy Hield for free, cool. But if you could do that and work that, but say, hey, send all the picks to the Toronto Raptors. So send that 26th, 29th. We'll send our 17th pick. And you send us Buddy Hield. We'll also send out, Shaquille Harrison and Mo Bamba, and we want to get back Gary Trent Jr. Could you work out some leverage play to maybe land Gary Trent Jr. and Buddy Hield? Because it's possible, right? If you can make all the numbers work. Indiana also has cap space, all that stuff. So would Indiana, in order to get OG Anunoby, would they help facilitate the Lakers getting Gary Trent Jr. and Buddy Hield? And the Lakers would essentially just have to send out Malik Beasley, Mo Bamba, Shaquille Harrison, and the 17th pick. Maybe you throw in the 47th pick too. I wouldn't care about that. If you had to give up the 17th and the 47th pick, cool, sure. Right? So, and you can kind of add some to the pot so that way the Toronto Raptors can unload OG Anunoby. Because at that point, they're rebuilding. They're trading OG Anunoby to get a bunch of assets and very likely going to trade Pascal Siakam. There's talks about Pascal Siakam potentially being traded to Atlanta for picks and players and stuff. So they would essentially probably trade Pascal Siakam, get some more assets, trade OG Anunoby to the Indiana Pacers, get a bunch of assets, and then the Lakers could pile in and go, well, you're rebuilding and blowing it all up anyway. You're probably losing Gary Trent Jr. regardless. Gary Trent, just opt in, stay on your $18.5 million for the year. You're probably not getting more than that regardless. And then we'll trade for you and Buddy Hield, and then the Lakers just end up getting Buddy Hield and Gary Trent Jr. for the 17th pick. And even again, if you have to give up the 47th pick, fine. Like, here you go. I'd even give up another second. Like, you want like 2 seconds in the 17th? If you can get Gary Trent Jr., who is already an established player and makes a world of sense for the Lakers, on top of, like, your hope at the 17th pick is to get a guy like Gary Trent Jr., but you'd already have that. And then on top of that, you get Buddy Hield. I'm not saying it would happen. I'm not even saying that these teams would entertain the Lakers trying to get involved in this deal. But we know that the Lakers and the Pacers, there's talks about Buddy Hield, Malik Beasley swap, and then the draft picks. Well, if they're going to go and you're already having talks with us, let's work this out. Let's work out a deal. You know, maybe you even throw in, because maybe Toronto's like, hey, we need a point guard. We lost Fred VanVleet, right? So maybe you just throw in D'Angelo Russell, right? And then you'd still have Malik Beasley, Mo Bamba, and the 2029th pick. That could be something, especially if you kind of know Chris Paul's coming, right? The Lakers could end up, like, if you could flip D'Angelo Russell into Buddy Hield and Gary Trent Jr., I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that at all. And then, again, you'd still have your 2029th pick. You'd still have Beasley and Mo Bamba that you could take those two and flip those into maybe another player. Maybe go get a center or something like that, right? That could be something that could be pretty cool. Or could you get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner? I don't know if they would trade Miles Turner now, because I think my guess, and I don't know this for certain, but my guess is they're getting OG Anunoby, because it's kind of like the missing piece, right? So they'd have, Halliburton, Dort, whoever at the shooting guard. Then they'd go and they'd have the OG Anunoby, and then you have, Miles Turner kind of rounding out the roster. That would be my guess of how they would go. But if the Lakers could kind of, because again, based on that report, it looks like Dallas is just getting Buddy Hield just to be a part of it, just to basically get in. There's got to be more pieces, because Dallas has to send something out, unless they're just not planning on re-signing Kyrie, because at that point they actually would have $40 million in cap space, so they could just absorb it in cap space. But realistically, Dallas is probably trading something. But Dallas isn't going to trade the 17th pick, and Buddy Hield isn't worth the 17th pick by himself. But if you could work it out to where you could get Gary, like, I think Gary Trent Jr. and Buddy Hield combined are worth the 17th pick. I think Gary Trent Jr. by himself is worth the 17th pick. That's just me personally. Some people might agree, some people might disagree. But if the Lakers could work that out to where you could get involved in this 3-team trade, that'd be a home run. Right? I wouldn't want to do it just for Buddy Hield, unless you're just essentially getting Buddy Hield for free, right? Like, if you're just basically coming in and swapping Malik Beasley for Buddy Hield, and, even like, let's say a second, then sure. Then yeah, like, go do that. If you can get Buddy Hield for basically nothing, then go get Buddy Hield basically nothing. If you could kind of plug yourself in place of the Dallas deal, then yeah, absolutely, I would do that. But if it's like Dallas really is dumb enough to go and trade the 10th pick for Buddy Hield, then just let them go get Buddy Hield, right? But if you could leverage that and come in and say, hey, like, our 17th pick is available, we're willing to negotiate here. We're willing to kind of come in. We've already been having talks with, the potential trade for Buddy Hield on numerous occasions. We'll take Buddy Hield. Toronto, you're probably losing Gary Trent Jr. regardless. Throw Gary Trent Jr. into the mix. We'll trade the 17th pick. We'll also give you our 47th pick. You basically traded Buddy Hield for the 47th pick and Gary Trent for the 17th pick. To me, that's a win. The Pacers get their guy in OG Anunoby. Toronto, they could get D'Angelo Russell, or they could get, Malik Beasley and Mo Bamba plus Shaquille Harrison. However you want to structure it. However you look at it, perfect. I'm all for that. But it's just a thought. When I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. Like, that's pretty interesting. And then I was like, oh, can the Lakers get in on that deal? Like, that would be pretty cool. Again, don't know if this would happen. Don't know if it can happen. Don't know if, this is even a real rumor or a real discussion. I mean, it's definitely a report. But I don't know. You never really know. Everything's rumor until it actually happens. But if the Lakers could squeeze in there, that would be great. That would be great, especially if you could land Gary Trent and Buddy Hield. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Would you do this? Would you not? Do you think that they should? Do you think they shouldn't? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know.